Welcome into today's edition of Coming Home. We got a treat for you this afternoon. We are here with a Patriot legend in Sneed. Played 3 years with the Patriots from 2012 to 2014. And it's such a unique path for you coming to DBU from Twin Falls, Idaho, where you're the Gatorade Player of the Year. How does someone from Twin Falls, Idaho find their way at Dallas Baptist University?
Yeah, so it's kind of a unique story in that I actually more recruited DBU than they recruited me. I was searching through somebody's scores, as I'm like a sophomore in high school, and I see this Dallas Baptist keeps popping up. And not are they just playing these guys, the big name guys, they're beating them a lot of times. And so I'd always kind of wanted to go to a Christian school, but I was a little bit concerned if they were just going to be Christian in name or if they were truly going to be a Christ-centered program. And the more I found out about DBU, the more I liked it. Sent them some stuff, and was in contact a little bit back and forth with Heath and Freeling, and then Heath came up and watched me pitch a game. I guess it was my junior year in the summertime, and actually didn't throw that well, but he, it was great to get to meet him, and shortly came on a visit thereafter, and it was great. I mean, I loved being here, and so it's kind of odd that I recruited them and then kind of flip-flopped, but yeah, it was great.
We can talk about what you did on the field. It meant so much to this program over the 3 years that you were here, but one thing that your teammates always single out is how good of a teammate you were. Whether you had a good outing or a bad outing, you're always the first out of the dugout to congratulate someone else on your team. How important is it to you to be that type of teammate in the dugout for your guys?
Yeah, I think it's huge, especially for a pitcher is I get to throw once a week, and if I'm pitching on a Saturday and I'm not going to pitch again until next Saturday. So what can I do to help the team win? Whether it's trying to pick up pitches from the opposing team, and really the biggest thing is just being that really good teammate in the dugout. Just having everybody's back and trying to bring everybody together. And it's a lot easier to go towards a goal together than it is one guy at a time. And so that was always kind of my goal. And I learned things from that from guys like Mike Smith, who my freshman year really helped teach me that. And I just try to kind of carry on that tradition and hopefully have passed it on well to some of these guys.
One of the most memorable performances that you had was one of your final ones in 2014. It's the first ever Missouri Valley Conference game for DBU, and you go 9 innings. You allow just 2 unearned runs. Your team ends up getting a walk-off in the 10th inning, Drew Turbin. When you think about that game, what stands out to you as the most memorable part or parts of that performance?
Probably the most memorable part to me is how bad my pregame bullpen was. If you'll ask Salters, he'll probably tell you I threw like 3 strikes in like 30 pitches before the game. I was all over the place. But we were able to get in, and I think that maybe the leadoff guy maybe swung at the first pitch of the game and grounded out to Turb, and then it just kind of rolled and kind of progressed, and it just got on where me and Dan were just in such sync. I don't know if I hardly even shook off the entire game. And we made some good defensive plays, and it was a very tight game the whole way. I think it was like 2-1 for most of the game. And then we get down, and we go into extras, and then obviously Turb hits that walk off, and it's like, the culmination of that, as a team and as Turb being one of my best friends, just was so great, and like you said, it was the first Missouri Valley Conference game for us, and it was a beautiful day. It was just like everything about it was just great, and so I look back on that with a lot of fond memories.
Well, after that season, you're then drafted in the 3rd round by the Brewers, and then 2 years later, you're traded to the Houston Astros, who you are with now. They've got a very unique way of bringing pitchers up through their organization. What's that experience been like for you?
It's been a little bit more like being here, where there is a lot of attention to detail on pitch shapes and spins and a lot of things like that. And so it's been a little bit of an easier transition for myself getting into that program because I have the background of DBU and how we've been really cutting edge on doing a lot of stuff. So it's very interesting. They put their own spin on it, and what they emphasize and what they don't. So it's just trying to kind of learn, and it really helps me to make sure that my stuff is where it needs to be. I can go and I can pull up the programs and I can look at the data and I can say, this pitch or that pitch, I didn't feel right in my hand, and here's why, because it's not spinning the way it needs to or whatever. And it helps me to stay more consistent because I'm able to fix stuff before it becomes a major problem.
Well, you talk about the background at DBU. When you think back to your time from 2012 to 2014, the 3 years in this program, How do you put into words what DBU baseball, this coaching staff, and your teammates, this program, how can you put into words what it means to you?
It's, there's a lot. It was 3 years of every single day being with the guys, with the coaches. Obviously, the school was great. I met my wife here. So, when I pull onto campus, there is kind of a lot of emotions of. And just memories of, I remember, that used to not be here, and we did that over there, or we did a mental toughness running up that hill, or all those. And at the time, some of that stuff was, especially physically just draining that we would go through. And you look back on it now with fondness, and it's, it's a great place. And getting to come here now and watch the current team play and see how much the program has grown from when I came here. And I came here for a lot of reasons that didn't have to do with any stuff. And it was the people, it was the team, we win, all that kind of stuff. And now, obviously, we're starting to get a lot of that recognition on a national scale. We have the stuff, which is really cool to see. Because it is such a special place and a special program, and these guys obviously deservingly so. But Heath has done a great job. Fitz, the whole staff has been incredible, and I think you see that in how many guys go into Pro Bowl and then how many guys come back. How many programs in the country can say they have maybe a dozen or more guys that are in Pro Bowl working out a morning before the team's practice. It's very rare. It's a very special place, and I think that's just a testament to all the people, which is really the reason why I came here in the first place.
He's one of the best to ever do it at DBU. He's Cy Sneed, a third-round draft pick out of DBU in 2014, and he's been our guest today on today's edition of Coming Home.